Today I'm going to make a Chex Mix in the style of a Gujarati Chevdo. So Gujarati Chevdo is one of my most loved snacks. My grandmother and my aunt, my parents would snack on this all day long, all the time. There was always some kind of a busu or a chevdo available in my home my entire childhood. And while I love a great traditional chevdo, some of the ingredients are a little bit hard to find here in the US. And I also, as somebody who grew up in both countries, deeply enjoy a Chex Mix. So today I thought I would combine the ingredients of a Chex Mix with the flavors of a traditional chevdo. And so let me show you this really, really awesome chevdo. I love it, and I hope you do too. This has some of the more traditional ingredients of a Chex Mix. I'm using all three types of Chex cereal. So I have corn Chex, rice Chex, and wheat Chex, but you can use whatever combination you like. I'm using some pretzel sticks, which are so not traditional for a chevdo, but work really well in this recipe. And I also have some peanuts and some cashews, and I'm using a much higher ratio of peanuts and cashews than you typically would in a Chex Mix, just because I like them and I love the protein and just the crunch and the flavor as well. And of course, I'm using golden raisins, which I think are always a must in a chevdo. I'm using some honey because Gujarati chevdo always has some sugar, some sweet element. And I'm using honey because I want it to coat the mix and just be like, offer the little sweetness. Turmeric. And then I have some amchur. Typically, my family uses citric acid for the sourness of a chevdo, but I'm using amchur today just because I really like the flavor, but you could feel free to use citric acid if you prefer. And lastly, I'm also using oil, which is traditional for a chevdo, not so much for a Chex Mix because typically a Chex Mix is made with butter, but this works really well. And then lastly, the curry leaves. The curry leaves are some of my favorite part of a chevdo. They offer so much unique flavor. And so I'm using quite a decent amount of them. You could use either fresh curry leaves or dry, or really skip them if you can't find them. Okay, let's get started. So I have a large bowl here, and I'm going to combine all three of my Chex, my peanuts, cashews, and the pretzel sticks. I'm just going to mix them together. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to set this aside and do the vaghaar. I'm heating a small pan, and I'm going to add some oil to it. Just any kind of neutral oil will work just fine. I'm using avocado oil, but anything neutral. I'm going to test it with one of my curry leaves. That looks good. So I'm just going to start by frying the curry leaves first. So I'm going to fry up the curry leaves. They're popping because they're still wet. So I'm going to dry them a little bit better before I add in the rest. So I'm going to add the curry leaves. Now that those are done, I'm going to fry up the golden raisins. Want to get them nice and puffy. Okay, they're puffing up, so I'm just going to take them out real quick. Now I'm going to take the oil off the heat and transfer it to a bowl. Just going to transfer the hot oil into the bowl. And then I'm going to add the spices to it while it is still hot. So starting with the dhana jeeru, the turmeric, the hing, the red chili powder, I'm going to give that a good mix. Okay, then add the salt and the amchur. Give that another good mix. Break up any lumps. Okay. Now I'm going to take just a few of my curry leaves. I'm just going to crumble them up into the oil mixture so that the curry leaf flavor permeates throughout the chevdo. About a third of the curry leaves. Now we're going to add the honey to the oil. So I have some honey and I have a third of a cup measure, and I use this for the oil, so it is nicely oiled. And I'm just going to go ahead and measure the honey. Okay. And give that a good mix. And this is our final chevdo mix. So we're going to add it to the dry ingredients. Now I'm going to add about half of this mixture to the top. And give that a good mix. Try to spread it out as evenly as I can. And this will spread even more as it warms up. And when you're heating it in the oven, you will be stirring it a few times. Now add the raisins. Give it another good mix. Some more of the mixture. Okay, and then the last of it. And mix that really well and as evenly as you can. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to transfer half of this mixture onto the first baking sheet and then the other half onto the second. Just spread it out. And at this point, if you wanted to sprinkle some extra chili powder, you can if you want it to be extra spicy. Okay, these are ready to bake. These are nice and baked up, and I'm going to add the curry leaves, and I also have a little bit of extra chili powder that I'm going to add because I like it extra spicy. So just sprinkle the chili powder on. You could add as much or as little as you like, and it can be as spicy as you want it to be. Okay, and I'm gonna add the curry leaves. I just like to have them in there whole, but if you want to break them up, you can do that as well. And just give it a good mix. This is still very hot from the oven, so it is still crunching up, but it will get nice and super crunchy as it cools. Okay, there you have it. Chex Chevdo. Just has a hint of sweetness from the honey and the spices, the chili powder and the turmeric, The chili powder and the dhanajiru and the little bit of hing just play so well together with the curry leaves. It's delicious. So there you have it. Indian spiced Chex Mix or Chex Chevdo.